All right, welcome back. Thanks for staying with us as we continue our Discover Middle Georgia series, a segment where we take you to interesting places.
And today we visit a familiar historic landmark in Milledgeville, the Andalusia-Farm. 41 NBC's Drake Roselle takes us there and has more on its history.
Nestled away on North Columbia Street in Milledgeville lies Andalusia, a historic location that's very important to Georgia's literary history. Andalusia was first started in 1814 as a cotton plantation and farm until one day in 1931 it was purchased by one Dr. Bernard Klein.
He was a medical doctor up in Atlanta. He is also Flannery's uncle, so that's how it kind of gets looped into the property. He purchases it as a relaxation getaway.
In 1951, after being diagnosed with lupus, famous Georgia author Flannery-Oconnor would move onto the farm, where she would spend the next 13 years writing what would become the majority of her body of work, being directly inspired by the property. Today the farm is a museum to honor O'Connor and her contributions to Georgia history. Andalusia is open to the public. It is owned and managed by Georgia College, which was O'Connor's alma mater. Cassie Manell is the curator of Andalusia. She says one of the big selling points for visitors of the farm is the main house where O'Connor lived.
So about 90% of our home, 90 to 93 is generally what we say of the house is the original objects that belonged to the family. So you're really able to get almost the pure, authentic experience of what it would have been like when Flannery herself was here.
Aside from the main house, visitors are able to wander the grounds and explore the other buildings, as well as the chance to see one of the highlights of the farm, the resident peacocks. Andalusia does host events. In the fall, the Front Porch Lecture Series takes place, which is styled after similar lectures O'Connor herself used to do right in front of the main house, where she would teach students about literary works. Something new coming to Andalusia is the construction of a new student learning laboratory that the farm is hoping will be used for more literary discussions, as well as host other events in an enclosed space. On top of that, Andalusia has recently been given a very distinct honor by the state of Georgia. Matthew S. Davis is the Director of Historic Museums for Georgia College, and he spoke on this new distinction.
So Andalusia was recently designated by the National Park Service through the Secretary of the Interior as a National Historic Landmark. This is a designation that fewer than 3% of all historic sites in the United States maintain.
The application process took over 10 years from submission to review by multiple boards to finally reaching the Secretary of the Interior. This designation has helped renew efforts to continue to not only improve the farm, but to bring in new visitors. With Georgia College's aid, Andalusia will continue to be a vital landmark for not just Middle Georgia, but for the state as a whole. In Milledgeville, Drake Roselle, 41 NBC News.
And to learn more about Andalusia Farm, or if you would like to take a tour, you can visit our website, 41NBC.com.